Share live. Okay. Hopefully that goes through and doesn't get redirected. All right, it worked. It's been finicky for the last little while. All right. Welcome everyone. Happy Monday. Um, so many exciting new things. A lot of new people on the team. So first, let me say welcome. If you're just tuning us for the first time, or whether you're catching us on the replay or live, welcome. I hope we can help you on your patching journey. Before we get too far into things, I do want to take a moment and wish a special happy birthday to my mother. It is her birthday today. And while we can't be near each other, it is still a wonderful thing to be able to FaceTime. And so the boys could sing happy birthday to her this morning. So that was really nice. So happy birthday to my mom, who looks way younger than she's supposed to because of all these wonderful stem cell patches. So quick shout out to mom. Happy birthday. So I realize that there are a lot of new people on the team, and I kind of want to just reintroduce myself really quickly, because I also noticed this with other people that I follow on our team and up, that I didn't know her backstory. I learned it this past week. Sandra was on with corporates webinar, and it was great to hear her story. I had never heard it before. So I just want to recap real quick and kind of get to the basics for everyone that's recently joining us on the team, because I think there are some very foundational things that you can do in your life just to help support the patches as you continue through. So I'll start with my story. So I'm Kate. I am 43. I am a mom of 2 little boys. And before I was patching, I had terrible knee pain, arthritic knees, both of them, too much in the way of sports as when I was younger, and I really beat my knees up. I had chronic fatigue, Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism. I had a barrage of just things that were physically just weighting me down constantly. So I was taking Adderall at that point in time because it was the only thing I could take to get out of bed in the morning. It was really awful. So I would wake up, set an alarm for like 5 o'clock, and I'd get up and I'd take my Adderall and go back to bed. So when my kids got up anywhere from 5:30 to 6:30, I wouldn't be a raging monster, lunatic, go back to sleep, because it was rough. So I think the most profound thing that I've learned, I've healed, I've been symptom free with, is more, not so much to do with the chronic fatigue and the Hashimoto's and all that, but it's my knees. So my knees, this past last year spring, I hurt, and it was painful to walk. I mean, it was just awful. I've got too many things going on, too much on my plate. I just suck it up and push through because I have no choice. So my orthopedic couldn't find anything. I had an MRI done. They didn't see anything. There was no specific tear. There was nothing really wrong, other than the fact that my knees are 60. I was like, oh, that's lovely. My knees are 60 and I'm only 43. So I could have convinced a doctor to have maybe given me a partial knee replacement, or they recommended the stem cell injections that aren't covered. It's not covered by insurance. It can be upwards of $8,000 a knee, and there's no guarantee on it, because they're taking your stem cells from your body currently, centrifuging them out, and then injecting them back in where you need them. So I was like, thanks, but no thanks. So I just suffered through. And a few months later, my sister-in-law introduced me to patches. Upside downside, I didn't know anything about them before I started. She basically said to me, I found a patch that create stem cells to help your body heal on a cellular level. And I said, say no more, put it on. So I, put the C7 on, put it on C7. And for those of you who don't know, to find the C7 on the back of your neck, C7 is what we refer to as the cervical 7. So at that point, the 7th vertebrae down, that is where GV14 and 6 different meridian points come through. So it's a very powerful point. So to find it, you take your head and you bend it down, and there's that little bump, the bump in the back, and that's where you want to put the patch, on the bump. Okay, put the patch on the bump in the back. That's one of the recommended locations for X39. I told my sister-in-law, patch me. I was like a maniac that day. We were on vacation. I was at the beach with my kids. I was bodyboarding. We were building castles. I was digging. I was up and down. I was feeling no pain, hindsight. The next morning I woke up and I realized how sore I was from all of the extra things I did. So I was like, oh, I need a patch. And that started it for me. I have been relatively pain-free. I do still have pain when I, do too much gardening and hurt my back, but then I have Ice Wave that helps redirect that pain, that blocked energy, disperses it. But I got to tell you, from where I was last year, this time, to where I am now, I feel like a new person. I don't drink anymore. Not that I really drank a lot to begin with, but I don't even have a desire to have a glass of wine, something to unwind. I don't need to unwind. It's wonderful. My body's already at ease and at that state that I don't feel like I need wine. So let's see there, no wine. I go to bed. I sleep so well. I have never slept this well. Since I've had kids. Since you have kids and you get that little ting ting in your ear that you hear every little thing that happens in the house. Amazing. I sleep so well. I'm up early. Like I'm naturally waking up. I'm naturally going to bed earlier because I'm tired. And I'm naturally waking up earlier with the sun, no alarm. So it's really nice. So I need to get in the mental mindset so I can do more with that time in the morning. But I got to tell you, from where I was to where I am now, I hands down, I feel like a different person. And I think everyone should at least try X39. At least try it. Give it a month. See what it does. See what your life changes. See what changes about your life. Because I got to tell you, I knew nothing about it going into it other than it could maybe help my knees with stem cells. And I am floored at how well I feel and how good I feel. And how I can go to these patches that are natural and holistic to support other things that pop up in life as you're going through life. You do too much, you are now in pain, you have Ice Wave, you get a headache, you can use Eon, you start to get a tickle in your throat, a cough or something, use glutathione. So I'm just so thankful to have these things. So if you're new to your patching journey, the first thing I want you to know is that you need to drink water. I always drank water before I was patching. I'm a big water proponent. I have one of those big water bottles, which of course is not with me right now, which I could use, that I just refill, and I drink at least 3 of them a day. I'd like to drink 4 to 5, but at minimum it's 3. And that's really the bare minimum for me, because if I don't drink at least that, I feel like my lips start to get chapped and I don't start to feel hydrated and well. The reason that you need to drink water with the patches is that energy moves throughout our body with water. We are made of water. We are beings of light and water. So we need water for these patches really to work. That, your body can't have cells moving around in it if you're not hydrated and your blood's like sludge, you really need to be hydrated for your body, because the only side effect that I've seen from these patches is people get pain, possibly a headache or some kind of weird pain that they've never had before. And I attribute to they're not drinking enough water while they're patching. That's really the only side effect I've ever had anyone experience with the patches. It's because they didn't drink enough water. So if you're new to patching, water is going to be your go-to. Get rid of the soda, get rid of the tea, get whatever else you're drinking, just get rid of it. And by water, I mean just straight water, not water with drips and drops and things mixed into it, like just water. If you want to maybe put some lemon in it, great. If you want to maybe put some cucumber in it, great. But just water, plain good old water. Your body loves it. So the first one's water for sure. The other thing is to really try to be consistent. Set an alarm. It's hard when you first start patching. It's hard to remember to put them on. It's hard to remember to take them off. I think that was the biggest part for me, was taking them off. So try to do it at a point in time when you're either in the bathroom in the morning or your alarm goes off. I keep my Alavita and my silent lights on my bedstand. And so when I lay down to go to bed, I put them on. Now, I don't wear them for a full 12 hours because I don't sleep 12 hours. So I tend to take half off, not the full backing, just half, and put it on when I go to bed, wherever my spots are. And then I will take them off and just set them on my nightstand to wear the next night. And so I know that if there's one on my nightstand that's got a half a sticky ripped off, that's only been half used, so that I can use the other one the next night. So being consistent, having water, set an alarm for yourself for your X39. Keep your X39 at your vanity, in the bathroom. When you're getting dressed, when you're brushing your teeth in the morning, you can put your X39 on. A lot of times people say, well, what time do you go to bed? And they kind of backtrack it from there. So really, you need to find what works for you and works for your life rhythm and your body rhythm. But if you happen to leave the patches on for too long, it's not the end of the world, okay? If you do, just take it off and keep it off for a day, no patches for a day, and then put the X39 back on. Now, when I say this is specifically for X39. X39 is a patch that needs to be cycled. The reason it needs to be cycled is that when we put that patch on, it stimulates our body to make copper peptides, to make stem cells, so that during the day when it's making, it's starting to do the healing. But when we sleep at night, that's when we really heal. So it's going to make all those stem cells during the day, and then they're going to go to work at night. So you want to take it off at night, and you want to cycle your body like that. So 12 hours on, 12 hours off, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Now, when you get down to, that's for X39 and X49, both are stem cell patches. When you get to the classic patches, we'll call them classic, which would be Eon, glutathione, carnosine, energy enhanced. Well, let's not talk about those yet. Eon, glutathione, Alavita, Eon, glutathione, carnosine, those three ones. These are from the YH system. So these three patches, they say wear for 12 hours and discard, just like X39. I do find a lot of therapeutic protocols. You can wear them up to 24 hours. And when you wear them up to 24 hours, you can wear them multiple days in a row, but you need to take a break from them. So you can't just wear them all the time. So your body does need a break from these. You can't just put them on all the time and have them do exactly what they're supposed to do all the time, because your body will become attenuated to that signal if they are not cycled. So if you have, for example, this is a good kind of a little segue into Learn to Patch. So let me quick show you that website that you're welcome to use. You're welcome to share. Here, let me share, because this is going to also give you an idea of, kind of why we say what we say about different patches. So these are different patching protocols. This is on learntopatch.com. I've created a blog on here that will allow you to go in and take a look at these different things. So we'll just go to the heartburn protocol first. So this heartburn protocol, they say 6 fingers above the navel with the tan ice wave, and then put the white ice wave right on the belly button. I have quite a few brand partners that we work with that swear by this. This is, I mean, I don't get heartburn personally, so I can't say, but for those on the team that get heartburn, this is what they do. I will say that another good one is an Eon or an X39, whichever one you have. If after you eat your stomach is upset, you can put that right on that same spot, just on that upper spot, the 6 fingers above the navel. You can put an Eon right there, and that will kind of help your body just settle, definitely settle. So then we go back, let's see. So take a look and, flip through here. When we say that these different protocols, we're saying that you can apply the patches, you can keep them on for a certain amount of time, even longer than 12 hours, but then you do need to take a break from them. So take a look at these. We also have we have emergency ones. So we'll go to emergency protocols. And in the emergency protocol, say you've got flu. This is what I used when I had the flu this past year. I wore for 24 hours. In these locations, I wore them for 24 hours. I would take them off, put new ones on after 24 hours. And I wore them 3-4 days. And then by that time, I didn't need them anymore. So I just stopped wearing them in those locations for that reason. So again, the beauty of the patches is that they're fun. You can use them, and play with them on the different spots that you like, that work for you, that might not work for others. It just depends on everyone's energy flow and how it's going through the body on what gets to what location. So experiment and have fun with it as well. Now, the one thing I definitely, for those that are new coming in, you need to know that Energy Enhancer and Ice Wave are 2 patch systems. They're a dual patch system, which means you will put 2 patches on your body when you use that system. And you want, typically, Energy Enhancer, you put them on whichever key spot, white on right, tan on left, okay? White right, tan left. That's a good kind of rule of thumb. Ice Wave is a little different. Ice Wave, typically, you can do that as well. You can put them on corresponding spots on either side of the body, white right, tan left. Or with Ice Wave, you can use what's called the clock method. And that's where you take the tan Ice Wave and put it on the point of pain. And then you take the white Ice Wave and you move it around to get where you want it to be, that you reduce the pain enough that we can take our pain from like a 10 where we started down to a 1 or 2. If you can get it to a 4 or 5 and you're happy with that, then you can leave it where it is. Tricks with that, using a piece of tape, like just a regular piece of tape that you just fold over and put it on the patch, just so you can play with spots. Once you get them where you want them, put a Band-Aid on them. If they're not sticky anymore, just put a Band-Aid on them. They'll stay. And that was one thing that if you didn't tune in last week, that was one of the brand partners, Andrea, that she was saying she had Energy Enhancers and she kind of just kept moving them around, and then she got them where it worked. Oh, sorry. She got them where it worked, and she put Band-Aids on. So she had Band-Aids on her hand. It was funny. She's like, but it was great. She took her head congestion completely away by putting Energy Enhancers on her K or her L4, her liver 4 spots. So play with it, ask questions, look up acupuncture points, could be a little intuitive with it. The one thing that I've learned from Grammy, and if you haven't heard about her yet, she just turned 91 at the beginning of the month, and she has fibromyalgia. She has a lot of pain issues. Now, I can say her patching in the last 6 months, her pain's not gone, but her duration of fibromyalgia flares went from weeks at a time down to days. I mean, it significantly reduced. And her quality of life is so much better because she's not spending so much time writhing in pain and not being able to recover from it. Before, she would be in 3 weeks of pain and take a whole week just to recover from that 3 weeks of pain and being down and not, not being able to function. So now it's like just a couple days of fibromyalgia and maybe a day or two recovery. Like it's amazing the difference. Also, her eye. She had a some kind of stroke or something in her eye in the 50s and lost almost all of the sight in her right eye. She could see that much, like just out of the bottom corner. And we started patching. I started patching her for pain because I had to. She lives under my roof, and that's just what I had to do. So it was funny, not funny. It was different that she started to complain that her eye was her stupid eye, that stupid eye that, has always been annoying. She's reading now and it's going over the bind of the book. We're like, what do you mean it's going over the bind of the book? Like, you can see better? And she's like, well, yeah. Like, another thing you've got to get used to when you get older. And we're like, Grammy, we don't like spontaneously get better as we get older. So it's the stem cells. It's the only explanation we have. It's got to be the stem cells. So I really don't put anything past stem cells, nor do I put anything past the placement of stem cells, because Grammy cannot reach the C7 consistently because of her shoulder injuries she's had. So she puts them one here and she puts one here, and that's it. She puts them where she can reach them. In fact, sometimes she forgets that she's got them on, and every now and again I go up and I'm like, Granny, you got a patch on your neck. She's like, oh, look at that. So they don't have to be specifically on the locations. They help, and those are the locations that they recommend, but they don't have to be. That's the one thing that Grammy definitely taught me in all of her patching splendor. So the two dual patches, you've got the main patches. So at night, typically, okay, when you first start patching, you might buy a gold pack and say, all right, here we go. I've got all these patches. And you put them on head to toe and you're like, nothing's happening. Well, first, you can't jump in with all of the patches on your body all at once and expect some profound thing to happen. Like it doesn't work like that. So I do have a blog about that, actually. Patches on and what next. So if you do go to Learn to Patch, there is a little article I wrote about, like, hey, what can we do about patching? And the fact that, what to expect when you patch. I have quite a few posts in here about all these patches and what to feel, what not to feel. Oh, can I wear too many patches? In short, yes. In the beginning, you can wear too many patches. So start slow, start simple, write down your symptoms, write down what's wrong. If you don't have a health tracker, reach out. I'm happy to share one with you. Just so you can keep track of what's going on, 1 to 10, and you can check in with yourself, because that's part of the healing process. If I hadn't have written down all of my things, I wouldn't be able to go back and remember all of the ailments I had pre-patching. So it's really important to do that, because oftentimes, just human nature, we're like, oh, well, we're better, we're done, we don't have to do that anymore. And then, could be a week after not patching, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 months after not patching, you could be like, oh man, I got all these weird, crazy pains again. You don't know. So write it down, keep track of it as you're going through, you're wearing your patches, see what symptoms are lessening, see what symptoms are getting better, see how much better you're feeling with your energy and your mood. So you can wear too many at once. Start simple and slow. I typically would recommend definitely starting with X39 and during the day and Eon at night. And I would maybe start with that for like a month. I don't know, a couple weeks. Everybody's so different. and then grow into it as you patch and as you feel more comfortable with it, and as you're drinking more water, because you don't want to go and put 6 patches on your body if you're not drinking a minimum of 60, 70 fluid ounces at least. I mean, you need to support the patches that you're putting on. One of the other cool things that I picked up from Sandra recently was bling. I don't know if anybody saw my patch here. If you can see it in the light. There we go, a little bit. There we go. Little blinging. So these things, so simple. I wear a patch, and I don't know, people might not want to say, oh, what's that? Maybe they don't want to be rude. They don't know what it is. A nicotine patch, who knows? So, you can pick up these little stickers, little gem stickers for next to nothing on Amazon. You can go to the dollar store, get them. You can get them in all different kinds, all different bling kinds. And so you can add them to your patch that you're wearing. And the best part is you get to color coordinate it with your outfit or whatever color mood you're in that day. And these things just stick everywhere. I'll tell you, I accidentally hit it with the book and gems went flying everywhere. And now I've got them stuck on everything everywhere. Hoping the cat doesn't get them. So this was just a neat trick. L4 is a great point. It's a great point on the body. And also, it's a great point because it's visible and people can see it right off the bat. So this is when I do shows, this is where I wear my patch, not only for the benefits of its location, but also for the benefit of its visual location for those that I'm patching, that I'm presenting to. So it really is a double-edged sword. Typically on this one, I would put Eon or glutathione. You can do your X39 there if you'd like, but Eon and glutathione are the two big ones that I wear here on L4. All right, hold on, just let me reference my sheet real quick and make sure. Oh, I see, I dropped it on the floor and they all hear ding, 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 ding. Websites. So Learn to Patch is a good website to kind of reference. The other one, Patching Partners, has the blog on there as well. And this is more of like business people that are joining, if they want to learn more, if they want help, this is kind of somewhere you can send people that want to do more of a business aspect. I'd like to get it going a little bit more with information for those that have already joined, but I tend to use my boards for that. So, the board that I have that I share with everyone is for training, X39 or X39 training, which is a great website. This is, to sign up for corporate's website. So this whole thing here is something that I send to someone and they have access to all of this. They can build a business. They can go do their different checklists to become a manager, to become a director, to have product to print out, have the different info cards, the info sheets. These are info sheets that we made that have, one page, you cut it in quarters and you can slide it into small containers to keep with you that are easier to transport and share LifeWave, along with coin envelopes to do sampling sizes and such. It's so customizable for what works for you guys, on what you're doing. The other thing is Patching Partners, YouTube. Patching Partners was a name that I came up with at some point when I went from kind of like manager to director, somewhere right around there. And I was like, wow, this team's really growing. Let's try to, have an umbrella for everyone to come under that we can, support each other as we all grow and we all learn more about the business and learn about, building this team. So, it's kind of the umbrella that I've gone under to share with everyone on the team to be a patching partner. And I think it just kind of rolled off the tongue, Patching Partners. And so, I'm rolling with it. I'm growing it as I go through this, but any Zoom is on here. So you're welcome to go and check out the Zoom chats. I repost them all on here. Go back and check out the one with Dr. Monica. We had her on a couple months ago. We'll have to do another check-in with her recent or coming up in the future. So that was Learn to Patch, Patching Partners, the YouTube, my testimony update, and then I think that was the bling. I remembered to say the bling. And anyone, I can look on the other one. Does anyone have any testimony to give or any testimony updates? I don't know if you can beat Andrea's from last week. She did such an amazing job. And I need to work with, where did that go? Oh, I missed it. I do, there was, I was kind of hoping she was going to come on and share. I know that one of the people that we patch with, she was, she helped her son this weekend with big games that were coming up and kind of in the middle of everything. And she was using Ice Wave with him for pain. And it worked like a charm. And they think that the root cause was the cleats, that they just, didn't have the time to go get or whatever. And so she patched him with Ice Wave, and it said it helped tremendously. So, I mean, that's just such a great tool to have. Just as a mom, to be able to help the kids in a pinch and not have to give them pharmaceuticals. I think it's amazing. I'm going to hit that button and it's going to start talking. Mom, do you have any updated testimonies? Are you there?
No, I don't really have any updated testimony. I do have two new brand partners, or not brand partners, two new preferred customers and a preferred customer plus, and we've been navigating that as to what goes where. And I had them over personally to give them lessons where everything is, and that all went pretty well. So
nice, very nice. And how long have those ladies been patching?
2 to 3 months.
Okay.
And they have both seen excellent progress. So that was why they decided that they really wanted to become part of it. And now they're getting interested in all the stuff. So
nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, that's great. That's good news. How's Dad doing with his?
Fine with the X39 and 49. We're not sure about the SP6 yet. It doesn't, it's better with a replacement like you suggested, but it's still, I'm not sure is doing as much as I'd hoped it would.
Sure. And interestingly enough, the SP6 was part of an entire thing that LifeWave used to have, like the whole shake. It was like a whole combination of things. It was shakes, it was something else, and the patch. Megan found it recently. Of course, I probably won't be able to pull it up right now. But I thought it was interesting that they had a whole, and that's why it was SP6 complete, because that was what that whole thing was called, where now they just have the patch to go with it. And not all the other parts and pieces. Nice. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, shut the door. Before the kids come ripping up through here and make a ruckus. Did I miss anything, Mom, you think, to tidbits to help people that are just starting to patch? Hydration is just so important. Are there any other tips that you would give listeners?
I think you've done pretty well with that, and the idea of recording things, because something will happen and you won't even realize that was a problem before. And then suddenly it's like, oh, this is working now or whatever. I can't really
You know
think.
what? And they're little things, Ma. They're things that you don't really think about. For example, I had a lot of skin tags on my neck when the kids from being pregnant, that are like gone. They're just gone. I mean, I know that, like when Carrie started patching, she had like eczema and she hated it. She didn't want it. She didn't want to take a picture of it. She was like, she started patching. She's like, it's gone. It's like, well, did you take a before picture? She's like, no, I hated that. I never wanted to see that. But those are the kind of things that you don't think about. Toe fungus, toenail fungus. You wouldn't think that that's something that these patches would handle, but they have. What are the other ones? Those varicose veins. Like, I have one from the kids when I was pregnant. I got one, and it looks a whole lot better now than it did before I was patching.
Mhm.
I think moles are a big one. Any kind of skin things. X39 really does a great job of addressing. We kind of saw that with Erin's testimony a few weeks ago with her dermatologist.
Mhm.
So yeah, it really recording things, and they're things that you might not realize either until it's gone, or you're like, wait, didn't I used to have that there? So
Scars too.
yes. Oh yes.
Father's surgery scars are, you can't even tell. I mean, they're just like skin.
Your scars?
No, your father's surgery scars with all his knees and all that stuff.
Really?
It's like they're white practically. They're not, you don't even notice them as scars.
Wow.
I mean,
And we have before pictures of his knees, because
okay. Oh,
we got
yes.
a lot of pictures of his knees. So that'll be neat. We should do a before and after of his knees and all the surgery scars.
Mhm.
That'd be neat to compare, visually
Mhm.
compare.
Mhm.
Anything else you can think of that we might?
No, I need time to think of such things. So
Oh, come on. You don't want to be thrown on the spot.
no.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered a lot of it. Patches themselves. The patches, they're typically worn at night are Alavita, Silent Nights. People tend to wear Eon and Nirvana at night as well. So the reason Eon helps at night to reduce the nervous system, to relax the nervous system, to sleep better. So if you don't have Silent Night, you can try an Eon. I tend to like to wear Eon right here behind the back of the ear. That was a point that you saw on Learn to Patch for brain balancing. People wear Nirvana at night because then they take the supplement in the morning. So they have the supplement in the morning, so they wear the patch at night, so that they have that broad spectrum coverage day and night. Those are the 4 main patches at night. Not saying you can't wear any of the others at night, but I wouldn't recommend X39 or 49 at night. You can easily wear carnosine and glutathione. If you wanted to do them 24 hours, you can wear them through the night. Energy enhancer, I don't even wear energy enhancer for a full 12 hours. Oh, actually, I probably do. I've actually fallen asleep with them on, forgot that I had them on, but I put them on so early at like 5 a.m. So by 10 p.m. they're pretty much toast. Ice Wave, you can wear it day or night, not a problem. SP6, people typically wear it during the day. I tend to find that it helps me get through that morning where I've been starting to do intermittent fasting. And so you kind of have those couple extra few hours in the morning where you're just hungry. And that tends to help, that I don't think about it as much. Oh, then the 7:30 time really gets me going with those extra yawns in this evening hour. Great. Well, If you haven't already followed us on Facebook or YouTube, please go ahead and follow. I would love to help you on your patching journey. Any questions that you have, different, whether it be business builder or just patches in general, I'd love to help you and come alongside you, where you are and assist you in your patching journey. So, thank you for joining us, whether you caught us live or somewhere in Facebook world, wherever that is, or on the replay. Drop a comment. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'm happy to help you. So thanks for tuning in, Ma. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your birthday day.
Will do.
All right. We'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.